into the wall and wrecked once again. Absolutely incredible. This guy has to be extremely frustrated.
Yes,
He was
we're
just
live right
riding
now.
out there on the high side and just slammed into the wall. Let's bring it back up to the leaders here. We have 11 of Lucky Dog in the lead. Tedeschi all over him. Tedeschi hits the apron and wrecks out everyone behind him. Somehow Dodge Boy saves it.
It almost looked like with the run that he got, I don't know if the 11 got the apron or if he maybe brake checked a little bit so that he didn't run wide and was able to preserve that inside line. But everyone, that whole front three just slowed down a ton and accordion together here.
I hear you. That's what I would do if I were the 88. Hold back a little bit, get that draft, and pass him right on the last lap. And here we are. So this is going to be it, guys. 88 into the wall. That is going to finish him off. 48, unless he does something crazy. He is going to be your winner here at Kansas. Man, hard to see that happen to the 88, but that just finishes off his race right there.
He gave up third right at the 0-0, gets the 43 into the wall. Those two are wrecking.
More Dog is your winner here tonight at Kansas. Absolutely intense race right behind him. J-Mac, who...
19, I think, finished second. I think the 19 of Little Wing pulled out a second place finish, which that is an awesome run for him. But that all started, I don't know what happened, but the 88 lost a lot of ground to Mordog. I think Dodge Boys might have gotten hung on his bumper, and that caused a little bit of distance. So the 88 trying to make that up just got the wall.
All right, guys, we're going to do a quick mic test. I hope you guys are doing well today. Man, what an exciting night we have. We're going to be headed to the Coca Cola 300. So it's going to be a great race. I think these guys are going to provide a lot of entertainment. This is a playoff race, so it's going to be pretty crazy. We are under the lights, like I said, here for tonight for the Coca Cola 300, brought to you by Shake and Bake Racing. Like I said, we have 8 people that will move on after tonight. Lucky and Mordog are safe after their wins last week. As for everyone else, every stage point and finishing position is crucial to move on. Among the drivers in danger include Rabbit, Doc Hollidays, Little Wing, and MDL. I think we're going to see a wild ride tonight as these drivers fight for one of those 8 spots. But before we get to the racing tonight, we have to bring in a great guy here tonight for driver spotlights. His name is Blue Baca. He pilots the number 3, and he is a very consistent driver. And I'm really looking forward to what he can do here for the final few races of the season, because we're getting down to the wire here. So Blue Baca, welcome to the booth here. I hope you're doing good tonight.
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, Frozen.
Of course, anytime. So let's go ahead and get started. First question, what aspects of driving do you excel at, and what do you struggle with?
Well, short tracks where you have to brake, I excel at good at them. Like Martinsville, Richmond, road courses, Pocono, Darlington. The cookie cutters where you don't have to do too much, I struggle at them tracks. Try to get the speed and the handling. It's always been my downfall.
Yeah, it's cool because short tracks for me, I'm the opposite. Those I struggle with a little bit more. I'm getting the hang of it more, but I'll tell you what, on setups, that is something that I struggle with a little bit more, the 1.5s. No problem there, but yeah, that's cool. I definitely respect that you have the talent there. Very cool. For your tracks, what is the favorite track on schedule, and what is your least favorite?
Favorite track, I'd have to say Darlington, because I grew up going to that track.
Oh, nice.
Bristol would be my least favorite.
Interesting. Now, I figured Bristol would be on the list that you like, and 1.5 miles would be on one that you don't like. So that's different.
I'd rather go to a road course, any road course besides Bristol.
Really? Okay. All right. That's very interesting. All right, next question is a fun one. You're at a car dealership and you are told you can take any car home that they have. What car are you taking?
Two-wheel drive, four-door GMC Sierra.
Oh, nice. What color?
Silver or blue.
I like it. I like it. I like your style right there. All right, and your last couple of questions. What do you do for fun other than racing and video games?
I like going out shooting my guns at the shooting range and trying new stuff in the kitchen, cooking stuff.
What kind of stuff do you cook?
Chicken,
Yeah?
fish, anything basically. Try it.
Are you on
It's
the
my life.
grill more?
Go try it and cook it.
Very nice.
Grill. Yeah, sometimes grill. George Foreman, bacon, depends. Frying.
Well, I think we're going to be all
Had
coming to
deep
your
fried
house.
burgers.
Ooh, nice. Party at your house. It sounds like we'd have some great cooking there, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and your last question. What is your favorite movie?
I really have two. One would be really old called Vanishing Point.
Okay.
And the other one's American Sniper.
I don't know if I've ever seen either one of those, but I'm going to have to look them up. Do you have
Chris
anything?
Kyle.
Okay. Oh,
Chris
okay.
Kyle was American Sniper.
Okay.
That
I did know that.
did 4 tours and had that bad PTSD.
Right. Yeah.
And Vanishing Point's where the guy drives across country in a 1971 RT Challenger.
Very nice. I might have to look that one up. I did know about the Chris Kyle. It just slipped my mind. However, yeah, the other one I'm definitely got to look up and check into that.
It's an old 70s movie.
Gotcha. Very cool. Well, here, guys, you heard it from Blue Baka. I wish you a ton of luck tonight. I appreciate you hanging out in the booth, and I hope you do really well tonight. I'm excited to see what you guys do.
Yeah, so am I. I'm looking forward to running. Seeing how
Absolutely.
hopefully we can get this thing going and run it green.
I hear you. I'm with you on that, and I think you guys can do it. I have a lot of faith in you, and you guys put on some really great races, so good luck out there.
Thank you.
All right, we are in the booth, of course. J-Mac is here with us. How you doing tonight, J-Mac?
I'm doing just lovely, Frozen.
Very cool. We had a lot of racing today. We were at Pocono. I gotta ask, I'm gonna put you on the spot. How did you think the racing went tonight, or today?
I thought it was an incredibly exciting event. It was just edge of the seat action. No, it was a boring race dominated by one guy, and those aren't the most fun in the world to watch, but that happens sometime.
Yeah, and I didn't get to watch it today. I was gone, but I did hear from a lot of people that it wasn't the exact best race ever. But we're supposed to see 2 of them next year, so I'm curious if they're going to do anything about that to make it more exciting. It is just the first one, so we'll see what happens. But I know there's
At a
lot
ramp on the front stretch.
You never know. I mean, sometimes NASCAR comes out with some crazy stuff, so I guess anything is possible. Before we get to the race, though, these guys should be headed to qualifying. I want to talk about our last race. We had the double header at Monster Mile in Kansas. They saw tempers flare after multiple wrecks and some brow-raising moves that bled over from Dover to Kansas. Lucky managed to drive his way to a win at Dover, with Dodge Boys capturing a second-place finish. Now, Kansas, that saw multiple grooves being ran, while at the end, Moordog passed Dodge Boys for the lead. And just as Dodge Boys tried to take it back, he got the wall and chaos ensued, coming to the line with Rocky Top going through the grass to take home second. All the while, Jose, Toaster, and Dodge Boys were involved in a wreck at the end. So a crazy finish to Kansas. Tonight at Charlotte, I think we're going to see a couple of different lines being ran, but it's, these guys, they're going to have damage on. They're going to be running different lines, and they do have setups on, so it can get pretty slick coming out of these turns. I'm very curious how they're going to race it, but they're going to have to be careful coming out of those turns. I don't know how you feel about it, J-Mac, but I'm a little nervous with how they're, how they can maneuver around each other coming out of those turns, because it can get very slippery.
Charlotte is an incredibly treacherous track, and the entry to 1 if you aren't down low enough, you hit a little bump and it spins you loose. And then going into 3, it seems all nice and wide and inviting, and then the track just tightens up, and it seems to turn a lot harder right in the middle of it, and that can be a really, really tough place to get a handle on. And if you're stuck in the outside line, your car can get away from you a bit. So it's a very, very tough track to drive.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the races. We are in the playoffs tonight. After tonight, they're going down to 8 drivers. So like I said, every point counts, every position counts. There's only 4 left. We have Pocono for the next round, Kentucky, Chicago, and then the championship 4 are going to be headed to Homestead. That's it. So this whole season is coming to an end here. Not too much more going on, but for tonight, we have 200 laps at Charlotte. These guys are running anywhere from 28.3s and 4s to maybe a little bit higher. The first stage we're going to see around 49 for laps, and then it goes down just because they have the cautions. But we're going to have 4 stages, so it's going to be pretty crazy. I'm excited to see what these guys can do, but it is going to be a long race, and I feel like this is really going to test these guys mentally and with their patience. We'll see a couple of tempers flare, possibly. Some guys that may not want to be as patient as others. But in the end, I think they'll have a great race, J-Mac.
I sure do hope so, Frozen. Yeah, all it'll take is a few miscues to cause these guys to have a few incidents. And a lot of these drivers were in a very big Charlotte race a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago. And so it could be a little bit of a cause of PTSD if we start having a little bit of a wreck fest. So I imagine these guys are going to take it real easy here, and they're going to try to take care of each other, hopefully, here at the beginning. Because like you've said, there are 4 stages. There's a lot of opportunities to make up ground. It's going to be really bad if you screw up your car in turn 1.
Absolutely. And we've said it before, damage is on. So these guys are really going to have to watch that damage. If they have to get it repaired, it will slow down their car. You do not want to have to go into pits to fix that damage. It is only, going to hurt your car in the long run, while everyone else who did not have damage, they're going to be that much faster, and that's just going to hurt you trying to get that win for tonight. I want to give a quick shout out to everyone in chat. Monkey Dust, hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. I know we have several others out there. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy the race. They are in qualifying. Hopefully they will be out soon and we'll be able to get started. But man, is there anything you can tell us about your stay at Charlotte and, your experiences there? Who you got to meet and what it was like for the whole thing, J-Mac?
I would tell you, but I'd have to kill you. No, it was fun. It was a good time. I got to meet a lot of people who work in the behind the scenes of NASCAR, because that was who we were working with most of the time. Got to have a couple of quick interactions with Richard Childress and just some things like that. Like, met like Austin and Daniel Hemrick before the race, and saw Tyler Reddick at the shop Friday. So just things like that. Nothing too spectacular happened, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I had a very good time.
I love seeing all the pictures there, and I know that you guys, as drivers and competitors, you guys got to hang out, which definitely helps, the spirit of the whole competition and getting to know other drivers. It was cool to see the pictures out there. Do you have any favorite drivers? You don't really have to answer that, but is there anyone that you feel like you really got to know and it was just really cool to bond with that person?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I got to meet my teammates, and that was basically who I was hanging out with the whole time. So that was, old Sloppy Joe over on the PlayStation side.
Yeah,
but,
that's cool.
I don't know. That's just that's. I'm not gonna say anything about the Xbox side because I secretly hate all of those guys. But
guy.
I mean, we had a good time. We had fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time, and it was most interesting putting names to faces and voices to faces.
Right. Absolutely. Like I said, looking at the pictures and hearing about the experience, it just sounds really cool. And you guys have put on a heck of a show. So great job to all those pro leaguers out there.
That Sunday race, I don't know if we put on a heck of a show, but Wednesday was pretty good. Wednesday was pretty good.
Wednesdays was great. Charlotte, so many factors. We've talked about it. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but a lot of factors did go into that, and you guys obviously proved that esports is amazing. You guys can do it, and you can put on a heck of a show on Wednesday. It's just that was the first race at Charlotte, and things happen. But you guys got back on track, and I feel like the rest of the season is going to be pretty spectacular.
I absolutely hope so, Frozen.
I got faith in ya. For tonight, though, let's talk about that. Get back on track. Like I said, 200 laps at Charlotte. They're going to be running around 28 laps for fuel. Now, we have 49 laps for the first stage. So these guys will obviously only have to make one pit stop. I feel like we're going to see a lot of variety on when these guys go in. We're going to see people like Dodge Boys. He really likes to go in solo. He will stay out longer than most guys, just simply so that he can avoid anything that happens in pit road. He doesn't want to get pushed in. He doesn't want to have an incident that might cause damage or get black flagged. So I think we're going to see variants on that. But we'll see what happens. I like I said, pit strategies we'll have to look out for. I feel like some of these guys will go in together, though, just because this is more of a drafting track. So you're going to want a teammate if you can, and if you're comfortable with that person, you're going to want a teammate to make sure that you have those faster times and can catch those people in front of you.
This is a draft track, but handling and having track to deal with is a very good thing to have.
Absolutely. From what I'm hearing, we have Dodge Boys and Jose out there on the front row after qualifying. So we should be getting going to the race here at the Coca Cola 300. I am super pumped. I cannot wait. I hope you guys have fastened those safety belts because it is going to be a crazy ride tonight. Foxhound, I hope you're doing good. Guard
Hopefully
Amp,
not too crazy.
Hopefully not too crazy. Let's not jinx it. But yes, Foxhound Boss says pit strategy is key, and I agree with you. You have to have those pits down. I mean, you got to have the speed too. I'm a big believer, and you got to have the speed because if you're out there solo and you have someone that is behind you, not in the draft, but he has no one to work with, you got to have that speed to, make sure that you're out there and they're not going to catch you. So that's important too, but pet strategy, definitely. Looks like we are getting ready to go in here. Wish these guys a lot of luck. Sounds like we have 15 drivers tonight. We don't have more dog. I don't know what that's going to do for him going into the next stage. I believe that he was actually one of the winners, so he should be safe no matter what going on to the next playoff round. Rock NASCAR, what's up? Thanks for joining. We're getting ready to go here live at the Coca Cola 300. We're about to go green, guys. I'm excited. Here they go. All ready. Let's take a look. They have a nice strong start. We have Tyler in the 88. That is Dodge Boys. Looking pretty good out there. We have 43 of Jose directly beside him on the outside, and that outside is a rough place to be, but he is hanging on to it as a place that he loves to be.
Already looking at 3 wide going into 3 Frozen. That is not what they planned, I don't think, but they got it sorted out somehow.
They look pretty strong. I mean, we are just 2 wide all the way back. We have 11 of Lucky Dog out there. We have 32 of Go Fast Matt, and I was watching him during practice. He was looking very, very strong, and right now he is all over Lucky Dog's back bumper there. Let's take a look back and see what we have here. He is still behind him, but man, I'll tell you what, I feel like he is one that we need to look out for tonight. Hopefully I don't jinx him, but he was looking pretty strong along with Expert Toaster in that number 10 car.
I know Jose typically loves the outside line, but it seems like he's almost stuck out there. Now he's able to power around the 11 and make the pass, but you definitely tell that he wanted to get free so that he could try to track down the 88 because Dodge Boys, JRM Dohar, whatever you want to call him, he's pulled himself out to a bit of a gap, but now it looks like the 43 is working on closing it down.
He has, while all these guys were battling up for second place. Dodge Boys just completely left them in the dust, but not for long because Jose is quickly dwindling that space between these guys. And we have Lucky and Go Fast Matt, top 4 drivers right there, and they are on top of each other once again.
And it's very impressive to watch that 88 go out there because he has a little bit of a save mentality. He probably has the gears up so that he can go a couple of laps further than the rest of these guys, maybe even 3 or 4. But you definitely know that that's his goal, and to be able to keep that speed and to run the lap times that he's able to, very impressive so far. But that group has drafted up to him, and now we have a 4-car breakaway here.
We do, and we have a couple of different groups here. We have a lot of 2-car groups, and then back, they are getting a little bit more grouped together as far as numbers go. But these top 4, they are really hanging out together, and they are looking very, very strong. Right now, we're watching Expert Toaster in that 10, and also Pro Boss, who is directly behind him. These guys are trying to work their way back up there. Pro Boss going a little bit low. They are still hanging on, and hopefully they can catch that front pack.
Front pack still single file. Jose took a little bit of a peek. Didn't seem like he really wanted to stuff it in there right now. It's definitely too early for that, probably, but these 4 seem to be content with riding in a line, but now the 00 and the 12 have made this a 6-car group.
Yeah, they have. It is looking pretty crazy out there. I do want to give a quick shout out to Repeat. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for joining tonight. But man, look at that behind Dodge Boys in the 88. We have Jose. These guys are just stacked on top of each other. Those front 6 are just on fire. We have Jose. We have Lucky Dog in the 11. Go Fast Matt in that 32. Let me see who's behind him on that. Jose trying to make a run for the lead. Look at this, 43 just moving down under, putting 88 on the outside. We have a new leader, guys, and that is Jose in that 43.
The 88 just went into turn 3. The car landed and it shoved up the track, and Jose filled that hole. And right now it looks like Dodge is going to get freight trained out there in that Chevrolet.
Yeah, it looks like it. We have Go Fast Matt stuck on that inside, but it's working out for him. That 00, I do believe that is up into the wall just a little bit. That is going to hurt him just a little bit. We have 40 to go right there. Quite a few laps left, guys, and Foxhound Boss says so far it's been a very clean start. Keep it up. I absolutely agree with you. I hope they do. Let's knock on some wood, though. We've seen the booth jinx way too much, but these guys really are doing a fantastic job tonight.
Yeah, that 00 learned a lesson that I learned 7 days ago, and that's that outside line in 3 and 4, a little loose, a little slick, and behind Dodge, he just washed up the track and got the wall, and now he has fallen back out of this lead pack and is about to be part of that second group.
Yeah, he is. And I want to take a look at that. The 12 of Rabbit just hanging on to this front pack. We've seen him struggle a lot this season, getting involved in some cautions that he just really doesn't want to be involved in, of course. But I feel like he's got a fast car. He just has to stay out of trouble. And so far, he's looking pretty good out here. So we'll see if he can make something happen tonight to move on, because he is one of those that is in danger tonight. If he doesn't make up some spots, he may not be moving on.
Lucky Dog, a very aggressive driver. We've seen him in these AKA races. He's ruffled a few feathers, and with his aggressive driving and his usually it's his defensive driving that seems to bug the most people. But right now he's on the offense, trying to pass that 43 of Jose, and he's definitely, if there's a driver who is going to mix it up and is not content to ride, it is going to be that man in the 11 car.
Absolutely. Whenever this guy has been involved in a finish, he has made it extremely interesting. He's not okay with just hanging back and seeing what happens. He wants to get out there, he wants to get out front and do it as quickly as possible. He's not afraid to make some moves that others might be, more cautious about. He's one that he wants to get out there, and I think we're going to see that here tonight. It's a bit early yet, but we'll see it happen. .35 to go at that line. We're getting to the point where some of these guys might want to make some moves. We'll see what happens as far as like pit strategy goes, whether they're going to go in. They might make some calls to each other like, hey, what are you guys going to do soon? But they're still a little bit far from that. But I'm excited to see the pit strategies, J-Mac.
I am as well. I'm also excited to see if these front five continue to stay lined up, because as they are driving right now, they have gapped the field. You can't even see anyone else in your view if you look back from our leader until you get onto the backstretch. They have a clear gap to the rest of the field right now, and I don't know if that's planned, but that seems to be working very well for these guys.
They are absolutely checked out, that front group. Behind them is Rocky Top in that 00. We saw him earlier get into the wall just a little bit, and that pretty much cut him off of that front lap, that front pack there. About 3.5 seconds. We have a couple of drivers behind him catching up into his draft. Hopefully these three can hook up and possibly get a run and make up some time, but man, a 3-pack versus a 5-pack, that's going to be a hard one to do unless that front pack starts racing each other.
Meanwhile, at the very back, these drivers are fighting tooth and nail for every spot. Our pre-race interviewee is struggling right now in the middle of a pack of about 6 cars that are dicing it up and actually putting on some really good racing. It's just, for like 9th.
Oh, we have 19 of Lil Wing into the wall. I don't know if that was some kind of glitch, but I'll tell you what, on my screen, he hit that pretty hard. We are in car with Blue Baka. That is the driver's spotlight. I talked to him a little bit earlier before the stream and asked him how he felt about his car, and he thinks it's about a 6th to 10th place car. I think he can do that or possibly better. We'll see what happens tonight, but he is giving a lot of space in between him and the guy in front of him. He's looking pretty strong out there tonight, J-Mac.
Remember, we have 4 stages, so that means we get 3 guaranteed restarts. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities for these guys to make adjustments, to fix their cars, and to have another crack at moving into the top group up here.
Absolutely. We saw Wonder get into the wall, came off, but it was no problem for anyone. They held it out. Blue Baka let him back in line, but these guys are running a pretty tight ship, looking pretty good out there. A little bit of shuffling, trying to make some moves. I feel like these guys really just need to tuck back in a line. Don't worry about racing each other right now. It looks like they're trying to go 3 wide at the moment. I want to see them get in a nice line and just make that time up. They really need to work together instead of against each other. We have 28 to go here, so we're moving on some laps. 20 underneath the apron after he had a little bit of contact with that 3. He's trying to save it. Slowly gets back in. J-Mac, I do believe he went into pit road there.
It looked like, I don't know if that was by design, but at the very least, as he was losing the car there, he just decided, well, I'm going to make this my pit stop then. Not sure if that's the plan, but that might have been scheduled for all I know. But either way, he definitely got into a little bit of trouble there, and it all worked out. And he is coming down to pit road, and it looked like he got down to pit road speed, so he should cycle out okay here.
Yeah, and that's right on the cusp of where these guys should have their pit strategy. They can go 28 on fuel, and that was, they had 28 left right there. So that was the 20 car of Osprey. We'll see how he comes out, but he should be good to go for the rest of the remainder of the race. J-Mac, I'm looking
These
at these.
front five are just
Yeah.
gone.
I know, it's
It's
craziness.
just insane how far away. They're already almost to the point where they're entering the corner as that second group, that second pairing of cars, I should say, is entering the back straight. It is just wild the distance that they currently have right now, and they seem very content. I figured they'd start mixing it up, and maybe they're just waiting for the pit stop to cycle through, and then they're going to see how they shake out right there, how the RNG gods determine their pit speed and all that, and once they get to that point, they'll maybe start mixing it up there. But now we have the 88 looking under the 32. The 32 got a little tight, just like the 88 did a little bit ago when he lost the lead. And third and fourth are going to shuffle spots.
Absolutely. That 32 kissed the wall just a little bit and moved him back. But man, I am really impressed with how these guys are working together. What a tight ship. I mean, they have this train absolutely moving, and they are all working beautifully together. I say that, and Jose's a little high, and we have 11 of Lucky Dog going right underneath him. I don't know if he's going to have enough to bring it home for to take over that lead. But they are starting to shuffle it up, J-Mac, and I'm really surprised because they're going to have to go in for pit road pretty soon here. So I'm curious, are we going to see Dodge Boys stay out and they're going to let others go in? What's going to happen with these guys?
Well, I think what happened there, Frozen, is at the 43, he got tight. The 11 tried to make a move, and Dodge Boys, he has a little bit of a rivalry with that driver in the 11, so I think he opted to draft with the 43 and to pull around and try to use that to get a spot. And guess what? It worked. He was able to power around the outside, a little bit of pull from Jose down the straightaways, and that ended up working. And the 43 pulls down, which is the global signal for pit stops. So look for the 43 to hit pit road right here.
Yeah, 43 is doing a scheduled pit stop. We're going to see if we have any takers. Rabbit decides to go in with him. So those two are going to be off and running together. The 11 of Lucky Dog, 32 of Go Fast Matt, and 88 of Dodge Boys have all stayed out. I'm curious if they're going to go in together.
It makes sense. When you're the leader, you don't really have the opportunity to save fuel, so obviously Jose came in and Rabbit came in to give him a little bit of draft. These guys that have been mid-pack, they could probably go another couple of laps, and then I would imagine the 88 can go another couple of laps beyond that. So it's going to be very interesting to see when these guys opt to pit, but it's going to be soon.
Absolutely. We also have Pro Boss in the 9 and MDL in the 42. They are on pit road, should be coming out shortly. But those leaders have stayed out so far. I'm wondering if they're going to go in this time around. We will see. 32 looks like he might be a taker for pit road. Off he goes. Will he make it without a black flag? He looks pretty secure in that spot. We'll see. But the 88 has stayed out along with Lucky Dog.
That's good for Dodge Boys. Gives them a little bit of a draft. Gives them a little bit of a push, but even though he's a little too far back to be much help, the 11 is, and it looks like that finally Lucky Dog is coming in, and that will leave the 88 on track as the only car so far that has not pitted.
J-Mac, I'll tell you what, I just put my camera on the 43 of Jose there, and Doc Holliday's in that 4 was really challenging him as Jose was trying to make his way around. We have Doc Holliday's going in as we speak, along with a couple others. But that definitely did not help Jose as he is running solo, trying to get around those guys. He was right in the center of about 3 other guys that were trying to get on pit road. So interesting for him. Hopefully he can stay out in the lead there. But it's really going to depend because those other guys went into pit road together.
And our leader has hit pit road. That should cycle everybody around. It'll be interesting to see how they come out in what order. It looks like Jose is going to beat the 11 of Lucky Dog. So that is one little bit that's how it's going to shake out there. But definitely going to be curious to see where the others in that top 5 grouping are going to end up here.
Absolutely. You see Go Fast Matt and Rabbit directly behind those guys. All 3 of those guys are going to hook up together. They are going to run Jose down, but he had a nice lead. Hopefully they will not run him down and fly past him. You see the 88 who was in that pack. He is coming out of pit road onto the track. So these guys are backing at it again, J-Mac.
And directly into the racing line. I don't know how much I would appreciate that if I was the 11.
That was very close.
That's how it shook out, and he had enough speed that ended up not costing them too much time.
Luckily.
But very surprised to see how much of a gap the 43 had on the 12. I don't know if maybe the outlap was a little bit different, if they caught traffic a little differently, or maybe Jose just had a really fast pit stop. But it looked like Rabbit was very aggressive getting on when they got on and was able to get right up to the 43's bumper. So very interesting, and we have a yellow flag.
Very interesting. I'm not sure what happened there, but we do have a caution out, guys.
The 19 car has a ton of damage.
Okay, so MDL and looks like MDL and another car have some damage there, so I'm assuming that is what's going to bring it out, but that will be the first caution of the night. So far, fantastic racing, but this is really going to shake things up. I guarantee you the front pack did not want to see this happen. Everyone else is very pleased about this. Let's see if we can see some of these guys. Yeah, the 42 is definitely going to go in to repair that damage. We are back from yellow, getting ready to go green once again. We have 88 on that outside, 43 of Jose on the inside. None of these top guys went in, I guarantee it. They are fine. They are not going to, take a hit on position. They just went out and let's go.
Yeah, no reason to pit there at all unless you're in the back and you just want 4 fresh tires, or you made a little bit of an adjustment that sucked. But the 00 looked like he got the apron a bit and killed the 4 car into the wall. No yellow flag, but a couple of cars have to have some damage and all that.
You know, restarts can be extremely tricky. You're not up to speed. You know, you got those setups on, and it can be extremely loose coming off of these turns and off of a restart. We have 11 to go, so not too many laps left for this first stage here. It's going to be a close race since we had this caution, but these front guys are together once again. We have a couple of guys behind the 88 who are fighting side by side. Let's see if we can get a closer look at this here. Right now we're looking at the 00 of Rocky Top. We have Expert Toaster in that 10 car. We have 14 of Wonder directly behind him. But man, that is a hungry pack behind them, J-Mac.
Speaking of tricky restarts, we saw the 12 moving back. Apparently he got into the wall, but he has lost a lot of spots here. And also a driver who was exiting really high up there was Jose. Not sure if he got the wall or not, but he had a really high exit and thought the 11 might be able to get under him. But tough restart here for Rabbit, as he's got to work his way back up, as he was running in that top 5 for most of that first stage, but he is not going to get very good points.
Yeah, and he really needs those stage points. I mean, this is a guy that is on the cutoff here. He's not going to make it if he doesn't get all the points that he needs. So he is one that needs those stage points, and he needs all the position points in the final, for this final part of the race. So that's going to be interesting to see, and it's only going to hurt him with that. So hopefully he can make something happen. But for this first stage, I don't know if he can make those up.
He's working. The 00 let him go down the backstretch, let him have the racing line, and right now he is running down the 14. So he might have time to work his way back into 5th as he peeks under him, and he can keep the power down. He's going to make that pass going into 3.
We're with that 12 right now, and he's making a pass underneath that 14 of Wonder. He's going to make up another position there. We have 6 to go at the line. If he can make it in that top 5, and I believe that is that 5 cars up there or 4, so if he can pass up, I believe that is Expert Toaster in front of him. He will get some points, not a lot, but he will get something there. That anything's going to help.
We're closing in on 5 to go, and still these front four, no interest in pulling out of line yet, no interest in racing each other. Gonna wonder when that call is, because there's no way these guys are gonna stay lined up. Maybe they will. Maybe they're not worried about points, but it's gonna be a test of how patient they are these last 5 laps of this stage.
Absolutely. And you know, Lucky Dog, he's got a win. He already has a win, so he's safe. Now, guys like Go Fast Matt, the 88 of Dodge Boys, and Jose really needs this. He wants it. So it would be great for him to get those stage points along with the other guys. But Lucky Dog is locked in. He's just going to go for it because he wants to win. This guy is so competitive, and he wants to get every point and every win he can. So I guarantee when it comes down to it on that final lap of the stage, all bets are off. Go Fast Matt close to the wall there, but man, I'll tell you what, they're just running such a tight ship, looking fantastic out there. I'm really impressed with the driving, and I guarantee they're just talking about, man, a little bit of a bumper tag off of Lucky there, got him into the wall. Didn't seem to hurt him too much there, but things are starting to shift around just a little bit. 2 to go right there, so it's coming down to it.
That tells me they are actively trying to stay in a line, because Go Fast Matt had a heck of a run on the 11 car of Lucky Dog and opted to stay behind him, opted to stay in line there, and ended up bumping into his bumper, and that sent him into the wall. That ended up hurting him. But they were definitely waiting until here, and now the 88, he's starting to make his move.
This should be the final lap of stage 1. I guarantee some of these guys are going to make a move. J-Mac, what do you got?
Oh, that was the 88 car. He dove it into one, and it did not stick a bit. And so, a little bit of a whatever that was. But
they're
Jose
coming
is
up on
going
the
to hold
flag
on.
here,
It doesn't
though.
look like Lucky Dog is going to be able to make a move.
Yeah, we have 43 capturing that first stage. Man, he really need those bonus points. I'm hearing over the radio that Rabbit overtook for 5th, so he is going to get some much needed points to help him out in the standings. Great job to these guys. Man, guys who are in chat, let me know what you think about the race. What a great race out here.
When we first looked at Rabbit, he was in about 9th after he had fallen, and he was able to get 4 cars there at a really not the easiest place in the world to pass. He got a couple of breaks from some of them, but still a very nice job to keep.
Absolutely. All these guys, I guarantee, are going to go in for fresh tires and some fuel. We're going to start off the second stage here, but they're going to have about 47 laps to go, so just another single pit stop for stage 2. 4 stages tonight. But yeah, Casey, what's up? Another pro leaguer out there. How you doing? Great racing so far tonight. Apparently Wonder missed the pit button, a little bit of a foul there on his part.
A gaffe,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a mistake.
It happens.
Tiny one.
It happens. So he is out there on old tires and not a lot of fuel, so these guys are going to be very hungry to get past him, but he does a very great thing for them and moves out of the way. Hopefully he's not out of fuel, but that was a quick break there, so I guarantee he just did that to get out of their way.
He is definitely still under power. That was a very good move, like you said, Frozen. And now these guys can race it out. Jose on the outside, where he typically likes to be, but Dodge Boys, earlier we saw him use the 43 to move around the 11. This time he's pushing the 11 car. So, funny how allegiances swap around over the course of these races.
You know, a lot of these are just based on who can get me where. You know, let's be friends right now. You know, we may not get along too great, but man, these guys just too
there is a
wide.
huge wreck in the back.
Let's take a look.
I saw the 3 car flipping. He is damaged. The 14, that had to have been everybody from about 4th on back. That was a massive wreck.
I saw the tiniest glimpse of something. I didn't catch anything because of the camera angle, but Man, oh man, from the sounds of it, that is a lot of people. That is going to be our second caution of the night. But so far, so good with this racing. We're on stage 2, ladies and gentlemen. For the Coca Cola 300, these guys doing great. Jose leading a ton of laps out there and getting some much needed points for the standings. This is the final cutoff race for round 1 of the playoffs. They will only take 8 for the next round, and 4 races left after that.
Look like a couple of guys opted to pit there, or maybe take a little more tires on their pit stop. One of the two. But the 88 went from the leader to in 6th now.
Go fast, Matt, on the inside, and that number 32 looking pretty strong out there. We have Lucky Dog and the 11 on the outside, 43 on the inside, making a move for 1st and 2nd. Go fast, Matt, going underneath the apron there. I don't know if he got loose or what happened, but a spectacular save on his part, making his way back up track. 43 into the wall just a little bit. That is going to stop that outside in its tracks. Somehow the 32, when he got back on track, he took back that lead.
Oh, the 88 just got killed by the 42.
Wow. Did I see them save that, J-Mac?
They somehow saved all that, but I think the 42 had to use the 88 to save his car after he got the apron just a little bit there. And,
absolutely incredible.
This has been a disastrous restart for Dodge Boys. Pitting there doesn't seem to be working out for him.
88 has damage, and he is very unhappy at the moment. He is gonna have to go in to fix that, and you guys know what that means. You go in to fix that damage, you're gonna come out slower than everyone else who does not have damage. Not the night he wants to see here. I do want to give a shout out to Cozy Meteor. Thank you so much for the raid. That's awesome. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying this race. It is a heck of a race out here tonight.
Just one of those moments where you maybe outthought the room there. He had the lead. He had clean track in front of him and decided to play a little strategy, and that put him in the eye of the storm, and now his chance to win has been compromised.
You know, a mover for the points here is Rabbit, getting some stage points, and he made up 4 points on the person in front of him, so that is definitely going to help him out. That's something that he needs to do, and he needs to continue to get those stage points. He had a 12-point deficit as far as the guy in front of him, and he made up 4 of those points. Any amount of points that he can get is going to definitely help him. J-Mac, what's the battle you're brewing up out there?
Well, I'm not really brewing. I'm here
I was going to say I said that wrong, but you know.
I mean, it's just whatever.
What you're cooking out
words
there.
Aren't important. I mean, I'm not really cooking either, but
I know. Hush.
just make this as difficult on you as possible.
I appreciate that.
Right now, I'm just watching this front 4 doing pretty much the same thing that group of 5 did earlier. We have lost Rabbit and Dodge Boys, but we've added the 00 to this group, and they're doing the same thing that they had tried to do earlier. They're hooked up and trying to pull away right now.
You know, it's a very smart move on their part. You gotta get that front pack moving and away from everyone else. If you can stay green, it's only gonna help you as far as pit strategy goes and staying away from them and having the time that you need to go. These guys have 35 to go in the second stage, so we're getting to the point where we're coming up on pit stops probably in the next several laps. Rocky Top in that 00 though, we've seen him. He is not in the top 12 here for playoffs. He's not one of those guys, but I do believe that he won Auto Club a couple of races ago, so that definitely threw something interesting into the mix here, as he is a non-contender that won a race, and here he is up here again in this top 4 spots.
At 32 of Matt, these last couple of times through 3 and 4 has been running a little bit high. Not sure if maybe he's a little tight, maybe he's a little loose and sliding up a bit, but Jose's had the opportunity to poke under as this time around. As I say that and we watch them, Matt keeps it on the bottom, but it's Jose that slides up. So, you know, it's just whatever it is. These cars are really inconsistent, and this track is treacherous, and that's the point I was going with. Yes,
exactly.
My totally correct point.
You said it there, you know, and it just depends on how these guys set up the car. Is it loose for them? If it is, you know, they're going to drive totally different than someone in front of them who may have a tight car. So they're going to drive different lines. But the thing is, look how well these guys are working together. I guarantee there's some communication going on here where they're just like, let's write it out, guys. Let's get away from the guys behind us. Let's work together until it comes down to it. And it's, you know, it's going to be everyone for themselves. But until that happens, let's go together.
Right now, that was an interesting move. Matt pulled down and Jose pulled up, and they got side by side going into 3. But that's very ambitious to try to pass somebody on the outside going into 3. And it ended up getting single file again down the front stretch.
Absolutely. I'm out here with Rabbit, and he is just looking at these guys pull away. He is currently running in 5th. This guy needs some help. Oh, right behind him we see, I do believe that looks like Expert Toaster. He just slammed the wall. Gathered it back up and is continuing on, but man, that looked like it hurt as far as that went. But Rabbit, I can only understand a little bit of the frustration he's got to be feeling right now as he sees these guys working together, just slowly pulling away from him. Hopefully he can make it back up there with him, because he was one of those guys that was up there at the very beginning, so hopefully he can find his way back up there.
Right now, the best battle on the track looks to be for whatever position it is the 4 and the 19 are side by side. Some quality analysis there. But, and that is, worked its way out. Now everybody is single file again.
I'm watching that 9 car, and he's one of those. He's got a little bit of space between him and the guy behind him, but once those guys get together, hopefully they can make something happen. But I don't think there's a lot of guys that can contend with those top drivers. And man, oh man, J-Mac, I am looking at the guy behind Blue Baca in that 3 car. I do believe that is MDL in that 42, and he looks like his car has been through the ringer. The thing is just completely crumbled up.
I don't think that thing will pass Tech Frozen.
I believe you're right. That's pretty crazy. Let's see if we can make our way back up there to the front. 88, he is out there riding by himself. This is another one who had an incident earlier, and he was very unhappy. Obviously, he has repaired the damage to his car, but he's going to have quite the battle to make it back up front. And I'm not sure what happened with that incident, but I guarantee he is going to be talking about that later with whomever that was.
I believe this is the same restart. I'm not sure if he's had the opportunity to come down and pit yet or not, but he seems to be running decent lap times to have worked his way back up to 6th. But that's just a testament to how good that car was at one point, as Rabbit has also managed to pull away as well and kind of hang with these front 4. They're doing a lot better than that group of the 00 of Rocky Top and Toaster had done earlier, staying with them. Maybe the pace has just slowed down because they've lost two of the best cars in the field. But that 32 and the 43 and the 11 still really strong, and it seems like the 00 of Rocky Top, maybe he made an adjustment because his car is doing a great job to hang on to these front 3.
Absolutely. And I'm hearing over the radio that the 88 did not in fact pit yet. So he's just trying to hang on as long as he can before he goes into pit. So he is currently in 6th from my understanding. So I didn't see any damage on his car, amazingly enough. So he may not have to fix anything. If he's struggling with something, he'll definitely fix it going in. But his car looked pretty clean out there.
Ooh, these cars getting a little unnervy on the exits of the corners. The 32 might be losing a little bit of grip. And the 43 doing all he can right now. Jose doing all he can not to get inside of Matt right now. But it looks like Matt's car falling off just a little bit handling-wise. And Jose's is not falling off quite as much as he slides up the track.
These guys are doing a heck of a job staying together, though. Sober David, what's up? Glad to have you. We have no caution counter tonight, but we've had 2 so far, 2 cautions. So if you would like, you can continue it from there. We are on stage 2. We're coming up on the pit cycle. Should be coming up soon. So we'll see what these guys do. 21 to go. So yeah, these guys are going to have to go in soon, I would imagine. But these guys are doing just great working together and making some magic happen. I mean, you can see behind him, that is Rabbit running solo by himself back there. And he's doing everything he can to hang on to the sights of these guys. A little bit of space between Rocky Top and those top 3 guys. I don't know if he's just trying to play it safe or if he's just barely hanging on. But he's still there. He's definitely still there. But I'm expecting these guys to come in very, very soon. Some of them together. We'll see if all 4 of them go in together. I don't think that all 4 will. But they might surprise us. 00, it looks like he's going to go in. 32 looks like he's going to be a taker for pit road. So we're going to have 2 go in of the lead pack, and we're going to have 2 stay out. Rocky Top looked like he was going pretty fast entering there.
I've been stuck in the middle of the field, so I didn't get to watch that entry. But pit road has come on in. It's a testament to how much the drivers respect the trickiness of the track, because you figured there that some would maybe short pit there a little bit to try to take advantage of some fresh tires, but everyone is elected to stay out and kind of take it down to the end of their fuel window, maybe to try a little bit of strategy, maybe only a can and a half to get a little extra speed, maybe only right side tires to have a much shorter pit stop, but going to be interesting to see how this all plays out as the 00. The 32 of Matt elects to stay on the apron, which drivers like, and the 00 of Rocky Top pulled on to the racing line, which drivers do not like. And 3 drivers had to go around him. The 3 of Lubaka, the 14 of Wonder, and the 42 of MDL had a way more eventful turn 1 than I think they wanted.
Yeah, you know, I know Jose had to deal with that coming out of pit road on stage 1, but the 32, man, he's in the same position that Jose was in when he went in. I mean, he is just stuck behind a whole group of cars here, and he is just running around. We have 11 coming out at the same time. It is getting extremely crowded on this backstretch. These lead guys are not wanting to see this, especially when you have guys coming on to pit road. They're gonna have to really watch what they do here.
It's going to be very treacherous for these guys. They're not only are they faster, but they're going to have to get out of the way when these guys are ready to pit. The 11 tried to send it underneath Blue Baca. Blue Baca tried to fit in line behind the 00. That was a sketchy moment. And, wow, this is going to get tight. I think the 14 is about to try to come in here.
Oh, jeez. Comes in, and he pulls right ahead of Jose, who just got on the backstretch off of pit road. Man, and then he just dives it down onto pit road. Very, very interesting right there. But 32 has clear skies ahead of him. No one in front of him, so he should be good to go as far as that goes. We have Rocky Top in that 00 currently behind him, and Jose behind him. So these guys look like they're in the clear so far.
42 of MDL, he's going to take a very conservative entry to pit road there as he pulls off on the apron on the entry to 3, but that's pretty much all of the drivers, the lapped car drivers. These well, I guess technically our former leaders are the lapped cars, but still these drivers that have not yet pit, that's pretty much all that they will have to deal with. The 3 of Blue Baca is really far behind, and the only driver that's going to have to deal with that is Rabbit, and Actually, Blue Baca is still staying out. He looks like he's going to take this to the very, very end of his fuel window.
He is a
And
man
maybe
on
try
a
to catch a
mission.
yellow and try to get some of these drivers a lap down.
Yeah, he is definitely a man on a mission trying to hang out there. Let's take a look, see if we can... I do believe that is the 12 car back there. He was having a nice battle, but man, the cameras do not want to let me back there with him. Here we go. 11. What just happened here? 11 is completely crashed out. 43 has some damage. That is definitely going to bring out the caution here.
I missed it frozen. I didn't see what happened.
Be back there. Let's see if we can get a replay on this.
Not going to speculate. Not going to speculate on it.
11. What just happened here? You just saw the 11 is completely crashed out. 43 has some damage. Someone trying to enter pit bring out the caution here. Made a mistake and caught those.
I missed it frozen.
Those front packs in the damage there, but man, absolutely devastating for those guys. That is going to definitely hurt Jose, who has been stuck in a lot of stuff going into these races. 43, the 11, a lot of cars in there.
That's two more of our contenders, and that's the sort of thing that will bring guys like the 88 of Dohar, who was involved in that incident earlier. He put himself in the middle of the pack, got damaged. Well, now some of these other drivers have damage. Some of these guys that he's competing with. So that sort of evens out the field. But right now, I'd say probably the 00 has to be in really good shape, and the 32 of Matt are probably your two best cars on the field right now.
Absolutely.
And Rabbit as well.
You know, when I was watching Go Fast Mo, we have a huge pileup once again. We have Jose involved. We'll have to see if that brings out the caution. It looks like, yeah, it looks like it's going to. Be back there. Let's get a replay on that, guys. Man,
cars
the
on the
cautions,
field right now.
Absolutely.
And Rabbit
these
as
lead
well.
cars that were just doing
You know,
so
when I was
well
watching
at the front.
Go Fast Mo,
just
we have
having
a
huge
huge
hard
pileup
time
once
right now. Again, we have Jose
Looked
involved.
like someone got put in the wall.
We'll have to see if that brings out the caution. It looks like
there's just nowhere to go.
Yeah, it looks like it's
when
going
that outside
to.
line starts getting slowed down.
Back there
Let's
with
get a
him.
replay.
Wow, that was about 4 guys damaged, and this has been a horrible stage so far for the 43 of Jose.
Yeah, you know, I was talking to him earlier, and he's like, as long as I can just stay clean and get through all the accidents, you know, I'll be good to go. But he has not had any luck whatsoever with that. As far as the cautions go here, he seems to be involved in a couple of those. So we need to change his luck for him. We have that 88 out in the lead here. We saw him get some damage earlier in a little bit of a incident earlier, but he is back out front after some pit strategy and those cautions coming out. So doing a great job out there, but man, oh man, we got some wiggly guys behind him, but the 32 is doing great out there. A guy goes underneath the apron, and they are around. Huge pileup right there.
Ford just lost it, and he was trying to save it, and had an opportunity there to maybe bail to the field side, and instead kept trying to drive out of it.
Doing great out there. A guy goes underneath
the
apron, and they are around. Huge pileup right there.
Ford just lost it, and he was trying to save it.
That is the end of the stage, and Dodge Boys is going to take it home for the win.
Had an opportunity there to maybe
that stage definitely going to help him out in
inside,
points, but yikes. Tough break for some of these guys. We're going to bring out the end of the stage 2 there. These guys are going to pit, take some fresh fuel. Yeah, you know,
these cars are starting to get damaged, and
yes.
And that's changing up the handling character. Sorry to interrupt, Frozen, but I think that might be the kind of racing we're going to see here from here on out, because these guys have started to hurt their cars, and they try to tune that out a little bit, and that ends up just completely racking the balance of their cars, and this is going to be interesting.
Absolutely. Sober David, thank you for the feedback on there. I will take care of that. This is all brand new to me, so I'm trying to bring out something cool, but I will go ahead and mute those. Oh, we have another guy way down below the apron there. Manages to bring it back up
That was
there,
the 14 car.
man, you know, we have
14
Rabbit
of
in
Wonder.
second place, and if he can hang out there, that should pretty well lock him in, I would think. If he can if he finishes the race in second, he should be good to go, I would imagine.
Two guys who damaged themselves on restarts have worked their way back up to the front here, Frozen, the top two cars. And the 32 of Matt has been among that top 5 the entire time, led a lot of that second stage. This is a very stout group here as Jose, he squeaks out of the field. He's in 4th now.
Rabbit going for the lead on the outside, pulls in front of Go Fast Matt. He is going to be your new leader. This is exactly what this guy needs to do. Doing a great job out there. Let's see if we can get a camera on him. He's your current leader.
And also the 11 car has sported out to 5th, so we now have, into different order, but it's the same 5 that we started out with in stage 1. They're leading the field in stage 3.
Absolutely incredible. Stage 3 already. This race is moving pretty fast. I'm hoping that we're not going to see the caution breeds caution. But so far in the 3rd stage, these guys are looking pretty strong. Man, we have another group of 5 just walking away from the guys behind them. So we'll see if this continues on. But we have a second pack behind them that is just trying to hang on. We'll see if they can do it, though.
I have to imagine the pace of this race has slowed down a bit now that everybody's, pretty much everybody in the field has had to fix something or other at some point. But because everybody has had to fix something, it kind of neutralizes the advantage that back part of the field, that 6th on back from that first stage, would have on these front 5. And it looks like that they're just able to walk the dog again if they can get lined up.
Yeah. Man, these guys are looking good. I want to give a shout out to Mordog, who is in chat right now. He is one of the drivers of this league. Unfortunately, he is not there tonight. He should be locked in, though. I do believe he has a win, so he is safe and sound to move on to the next round of playoffs. Osprey, he sent me a message. He had engine failure. He is no longer in the race. And he said, make sure you watch out for that 43. He is super fast. Osprey, I agree. Jose, he always has a pretty good car out there. We just got to keep him out of the wrecks.
And he's probably going to need that 12 and 32 to get some damage right now, because it looks like, unless he's being super conservative, he's having a little bit of a tough time hanging on that 88. And as we've seen with drivers that get involved in damage, they can be fast off the start of a restart. They can be fast for a few laps, but where they really, really get hurt for having to repair their car is on the long run. And we'll have to see if he's been able to make a bit of an adjustment to keep up with it, or if that proves true again and he starts to struggle to hang with this front 3 here.
Yeah, you know, in the long run, it's definitely going to tell. Right now, we're looking at the 9 car of AKA Pro Boss. He is kind of solo. He's got another car directly behind him. Let's see if we can get a picture of who that is. Took me right over to 42, who immediately had a little kiss with the wall. I do believe that is the 4 car of Doc Holliday's behind him. We're going to go back in the pack here to 3 of Blue Baca, who was our driver spotlight tonight. And like I said earlier, when I asked him what kind of car he had tonight, he thinks he has a 6th to 10th place car. I'm hoping he can make that happen, or possibly something better. I love it when drivers do well out there. Great guy, great driver out there, so lots of luck to him tonight.
Well, he's currently sitting in 9th place, I believe, so mission accomplished so far. But
so far,
he
yeah.
definitely wants to be a little bit better, and we still have another stage after this one. We'll have at least one more restart, and that'll be another opportunity to both fix his car up a little bit, maybe make one last adjustment, and then and take advantage of a couple of guys on that final restart that hopefully will be the final restart.
I am looking at the 19 of Little Wing, and he has a ton of damage, and it is obviously hurting his handling. He has kissed the wall several times, making a little bit of contact. Handling wise, he is just struggling with that thing. So he is just hoping for either a caution soon or, you know, pits coming up here. So we'll see what he can do.
Much like much like the entire race so far, this front group of drivers just content to stay in line, to log laps, and just make it to the finish here. And for the most part, that's worked all race long. Some of these guys, through pit stops and through different cycles, have accrued some damage and put themselves in some compromising positions. But for the most part, this plan has worked, and you can definitely tell that these are probably the 5 best cars in the field. The 00 is the only other one not in this pack right now that's shown comparative speed with these guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, they keep switching between who are the top 5 that are working together, but I'll tell you what, this may look easy. It may look like, you know, no big deal. Why are they even doing that? But I'll tell you what, hanging it in this line and making sure that you're staying far enough away from the guy in front of you so you don't wreck him, making sure that you're not making a mistake so you mess up the guy behind you. It takes a lot to do that mentally and everything else. You got to pay attention to everything around you. If the guy in front of you gets loose, it's going to affect the entire group. If you mess up, it's going to affect everyone behind you. So as easy it may look and sound, it can definitely wear you down, but a fantastic strategy for these guys to work together and make sure that they are in the clear for pit road and to get away from all the guys behind them.
You can tell they're working to stay in line because the 12, twice in a row now, going through 3 and 4, has washed up the track a lot, and now going into 1, and the 32, he's peaked, but he's given him that spot back. He's feathered the throttle, and that's stuck these guys up. And earlier we saw the 32 get put in the wall by the 11's rear bumper because he wasn't willing to pull out of line, because he wanted to push and keep these guys in line. So to go back to your point, it is insanely difficult to hold in line and to drive together, especially at a place like this where the handling can get so wonky at times. It's a very, very, very slick track. It is a track where one of the corners has kind of an odd angle to it, and it can be very, very tough to hold on and to not only hold on to your car, but to also keep it perfectly positioned in front of the nose of the guy behind you and behind the rear spoiler of the guy in front of you.
Absolutely, and there's quite a bit of space between Jose and the guys in front of him. The 32 and the 88 are making me a little nervous, I gotta say. The 88 of Dodge Boys is all over Go Fast Matt, and there's not a lot of wiggle room for any type of mistake to happen from that 32. If something happens to him, Dodge Boys is just directly on him, and it is going to definitely affect him and everyone behind him. But I don't know if Jose is just hanging back to make sure that he's not involved in anything, or if he is struggling from what you were talking about earlier, that damage that when you go in to repair, it's going to slow you down. So I don't know which one it is, but these guys are starting to take it too wide as we have Go Fast Matt, who is underneath the 88, as 88 is trying to make up another position, but they get it all situated out and back to single file.
It looks like the 32 is a little bit better than the 12 right now. Maybe it would do them well for him to get out front, but if he passes Rabbit, Rabbit is going to lose at least a spot to the 88, because I doubt he lets him in. But the 43, if he's struggling with his car, he might be willing. And the 32, I don't think he was expecting that move from Dodge, and he got on the apron and made a very nice save.
Yeah.
But that was an interesting swap of positions there.
Fantastic save on Go Fast Matt, his part right there. But man, oh man, that could have been something very bad. He dipped under that apron after some contact, and great save on his part. These guys are doing all right, but I'm sensing some car handling issues, or a lot of drivers are getting a little antsy. Whatever it is, they're struggling to hang on to it at this point.
I would imagine it's handling issues. We are late into the run, and like we've documented several times, the 88's been in the wall. The 32 had a light kiss with the wall that might not have hurt him. He might not have had to repair it, but that does change the handling of the car. That'll mess with the balance. The 12 was put in the wall on on a restart, and then of course we had the 43 and the 11 had some catastrophic damage from wrecks they've been involved in. So these guys are definitely, I think, starting to struggle. As you see, Jose and Lucky Dog, it's getting a little bit tougher for them to hang with these front three.
Absolutely. These guys are starting to split up. We have 29 to go, so we are in that pit road. 28 at the line here, so we're getting into that pit window here. So I guarantee some of these guys are going to start going in. We have more dog out there saying, make a move, Matt. Go for that lead. Rabbit diving in. I don't know if he's going to go to pit road. I was looking at chat, but man, he dropped back pretty quick there, J-Mac. And there he goes on to pit road.
Looks like he was. It looks like he was finding just some safe area to make it to pit road. And now the 32, he looks like he's wanting to look on the outside, make a similar pass to what Dodge did to him a little bit ago. But Matt, not sure if I didn't know if he'd try to dive bomb in there or not, but these guys have started racing each other pretty hard, but not really hard. And I'm kind of interested to see how things shake out when that switches over to really hard.
Yeah, they're definitely making it interesting, but I'll tell you what, J-Mac, I'm a little concerned for Rabbit. His maneuver to make sure he did not destroy anyone's race while trying to get on pit road, he took a lot of time while he was doing that, so I'm curious what he is going to do when he gets back on track. Where will he be? We'll see what his track position is when he comes on out.
At the very least, he won't shake out any worse than 5th. So maybe that was just a calculated move on his part. He's gained a lot of points on Wonder so far tonight. So maybe that was just a, hey, I'm not going to lose anything here. We still have another stage that'll mean something here. So I'm just going to back out of here. I'm going to come out. I might have lost these front 4, but I'll still be 5th, and I'll still be faster than everyone behind me. So that might have been a calculated decision, even though it will have cost him a little bit of time.
Yeah, you know, at this point, better safe than sorry, because Rabbit is one of those drivers who seems to be at the right place at the wrong time. He is always involved in some kind of caution there, so smart move on his part, but hopefully it did not cost him too much. He needs those points, and I guarantee he obviously wants to move on to that top 8 as we move into the next round. We'll see how he comes out, though.
And meanwhile, these front 2 have definitely started to race harder. Matt almost wrecked it off of 4, lost a lot of ground. That allowed Jose to get to his outside, and down the backstretch while those guys were side by side. The 88 of Dohar was pulling both of them at the same time, trying to work the draft. So things have definitely ratcheted up as far as the aggressiveness goes.
32 going in with the 43 of Jose. 32 looks like he almost missed pit road. Man, ends up in the wall.
He did miss pit road.
Devastating for him.
He's trying to back up to activate it, I think.
That is completely devastating to his race. We do have a whole nother stage, so anything is possible, but man, oh man, that is not what he wants to see. He lost a lot of time going on that one. Let's bring it back up there. We're with that 12 car right now, and he's got another car behind him. He's kind of El Solo besides that, though. We'll see if he can make up time after a slow entry to pit road to make sure that he did not ruin anyone else's race. He did not want to be involved in anything. Smart move on his part, but we'll see how it all pans out once these guys all run through the pit road.
Pretty smart move by the 32 after Matt missed pit road to just stay calm, back it up, and let the game activate him onto pit road and not try to maybe pull back on track or to drive, you know, a million miles an hour down pit road and just to try it again the second time around. So to his credit, that was a smart move, but a big mistake to lose that, to miss pit road there, and that plays into Rabbit's hands.
It does.
Now he gets another point.
Yes, we have 88 as a taker on pit road, taking that super wide going in there, but he makes it okay. We're back out here with the 43. Quick shout out to Ethan. What's up? How are you doing? I hope you're enjoying the race out here. They're having a really good race tonight at the Coca Cola 300. A lot of lead changes, and the front pack seems to be a pack that is just working together, getting away from everyone else who is behind them. Right now they are running through pit cycles, so they are all pretty well separated. I think, J-Mac, this is the most separation I've seen after a pit stop. They've usually come back together, but so far it's not looking to be that way just yet.
Well, it looks like Lucky Dog and Jose, they'll come out together. Rabbit's just a little bit behind him, but I think he has a superior car to those two right now, just on the basis of it having been less damaged over the course of the race. But I get a frog in my throat. But the 88 pulls out behind them. We're gonna have a pretty decent little mix of 4 cars here if they can get draft up to each other.
Absolutely, and I think they're going to be able to. We have the 88 not too far behind Jose, and I believe that is Rabbit back there. Hopefully he can hang on. You can just see how much it did affect him the way he entered pit road, and it is not as bad as I thought, so good for him on that one. But hopefully he can just get a little glimpse of that draft behind Dodge Boys back there and catch up to these guys.
Got a little bit of a race maybe shaking up here for the lead. Going to be interesting to see if Jose decides to draft with the 11 of Lucky Dog here, or if they just stay in line and maybe try to pull away from the 88, although I think that might be a bit of a fool's errand because the 88 is coming, and he definitely was not as damaged as these two were earlier, so maybe that'll help him out a little bit.
Yeah, you know, the 88 is a man on a mission after that earlier incident. He has raced his way back up front. I feel like the 43 is kind of testing the waters here, seeing if he can make a move. He knows he's got the 88 behind him, and the 88 is going to be hungry to make something happen here. So I think we're going to see things start to shake up, which may allow Rabbit to hook up with these guys if they start racing each other. We're at 15 to go for stage 3. So something's going to happen soon, I guarantee it.
Jose definitely opted to, he had a very good opportunity to pass there, caught the 11 car midway down the backstretch with a huge run, opted to stay behind him, and as I say that, he pulls down on the inside of him, because everything I say is immediately jinxed.
We have that 43 car. He's getting a lot of help from Dodge Boys right behind him, and 43 is going to be your new leader out here. 11 falls back all the way to 3rd after the 88 of Dodge Boys is helping the 43. He's going to be your new leader, and I think the 43 of Jose has led the most laps here tonight. It could be very close with a couple other drivers, but he pretty much led that entire first stage.
He has led that entire first stage, and apparently the 32 car spun a little bit ago. It looks like he's merged back in with some decent track position, but still a horrid stage 3 for the 32 of Go Fast Matt, who has been one of the 5 fastest cars here all night long.
Oh, geez. Yeah, you know, like I said, watching him in practice, he was super strong, so I'm curious what happened to him, but that pit entry pretty much started a string of terrible events for him. Hopefully he can make his way back up here. We do have another stage. Ethan, how long is this race? We've been going since 9, so it's been a little over an hour here, but we do have a whole nother stage of racing here, and it has been a fun race.
Coming up on lap traffic here, and one of them is one of the drivers that's racing for a spot to continue on in the playoffs. So you have to imagine they're going to race hard to stay on the lead lap here, but it's going to be real tough to hold off these 3 cars.
Absolutely. One of those is Doc Holliday's in that 4, and if I remember correctly, J-Mac, wasn't he one that was doing some major blocking in another race so that he did not go a lap down? Was he the one that you called the Ryan Newman?
That would be it. Bristol. He was inhabited by the spirit of Ryan Newman, and I imagine both him and Wonder will be inhabited by the spirit of ramen noodles of Ryan Newman.
Ramen noodles. Yeah,
that was a weird Freudian slip there. But yeah.
And here they are meeting. Let's change that camera view. He is getting on safely on by the Doc Holidays. And 9 to go at the line there. I'm very shocked, I gotta say, that he let them go by. Man, I'll tell you what, Jose got up a little high towards that wall. It looked like he might have even had a little bit of a contact with that wall, but it did not hurt him at all. He's gonna have to make his way around. Wonder in that 14 though, and I can't imagine Wonder's gonna put up a fight. Yeah, he just goes high up the track to let these guys go on by. He's not one to stop the race. But we have Dodge Boys just putting the pressure on Jose, letting him know he's there. There's only a handful of laps in stage 3, so it's gonna start to get very interesting, folks.
The next lap car is a full straightaway ahead, so right now if the 14 can just fall in line, hang on, hold off the 4 car, he will be the lucky dog at the stage break. So he'll be able to get back on lead lap and try to work to make up that gap that he's gonna have here to the 12 of Rabbit to make that final transfer spot.
Yeah, these points, like I said, every driver that is on the cutoff, they need every stage point that they can get. And I know a lot of these guys are going to be fighting to get that. But man, the battle that I think we're going to have in a few laps here for top 3 is going to be intense. 43 is going to have to do some defensive driving. The 88 has already been involved in a caution, and he is going to be one that I feel like is going to go after that win, and he's just going to make it happen no matter what.
Has been a sight to see how well these leaders have worked together all race long to stay lined up, but now it looks like they might be looking to get a little racy out here.
The 88 on the outside of Jose, trying to take it too wide to get into that lead as we are 5 to go. Man, side-by-side racing here. He's got some help from Lucky Dog behind him. Jose on the inside by himself. As soon as I say that, we have Lucky Dog coming down, but the 88 will be your leader at the moment here. Lucky Dog just kind of playing both sides, seeing what he can do here. But man, we're coming down the final laps. Jose's going to have to make something happen quick.
Dohar cleared himself, and it looked like Jose had to burp the throttle just a little bit. He might have been cleared, but I think the 43 wasn't as sure as the 88 was, so he let off just a little bit to let him in line. But I imagine he stays in the gas there a stage from now.
3 to go at the line, and your top 3 are on top of each other. You could cover them with a blanket. These guys are just stacked. And the 11 looks like he is just peeking out, trying to see if he can make something happen. Jose looks like he is just trying to figure out, okay, where is the best place to do this? How am I going to do it? I want this stage win.
I think the difficult thing is I don't think either one of those two have as good of a car here on the long run as this 88 car is. To make a pass on the outside like he did is a pretty strong move, especially at a place like this. So it's going to be a tough going to be able to make the move on him. And you can tell Jose is driving the wheels off of it, but just doesn't have the grip to run the same speed through the corner as this 88 car does. Absolutely.
Look at the 43 and the 11 going at it for second place. This is the final lap, guys, and the 88, he looks like he's in the clear as these guys are fighting for second. Every single point counts. This is the final cutoff race for the first round of playoffs. So these guys need every points they can get, and it looks like Dodge Boys is going to take it home for the stage 3 win. We're going to have Lucky Dog in second, Jose in third, That's stage 3, guys.
And Rabbit came home in 4th, so that just builds the lead that he has over Wonder. Wonder was able to stay in front of the 4, so he will be the lucky dog here, and will be able to get on the lead lap. It'll be interesting to see how many cars are on the lead lap, because I don't think it's very many.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just a horrible counter.
Hopefully we can get a count on it from our production crew out here. But yeah, I mean, besides a couple of cautions, these guys have really had a fantastic race. It's been really cool out here. Ethan, do I usually play NASCAR Heat 3 much? I do. I'm on here quite a bit. Pretty much every single day you'll see me out here at this point. It's I've been out here more than usual. So Wednesday I have a lobby if you are interested. Thursday there's a race that you can do for a Kyle Larson diecast that is being hosted by Cosmic. So if you're interested in the club, look that up and you can sign up for the race. But we are getting headed to get ready to go for the final stage here. We have the 88 of Dodge Boys currently as your leader, 11 on the outside. Let's see how these guys get started here. '88 has a nice lead off. These guys are looking pretty strong. We have a Rabbit directly behind Dodge Boys. Where did Jose fall back to, J-Mac? Can you see him?
Jose is currently in 5th, is where he looked like he restarted. So not too far back, but he was there on the inside of row 3. It must have been a little bit of strategy played by some of these guys here. Or maybe he took some time to repair some damage, one of the two.
You know, who knows? But he's not too far
Nobody
back.
does, except for them.
He's not too far back, so it shouldn't
except
be too
for
bad.
God and the driver himself.
Ethan, there should be 47 laps for this final stage, I would assume. I know it varies. Technically, there should be 50 for every stage here, but obviously they have the caution that they do, so that takes a couple of laps away. But not much longer here, but we have 88 in the lead, looking very, very strong. We have Rabbit in 2nd. Look who's back up in 3rd. We have the 00 of Rocky Top in 3rd. Jose, who looks like he moved up to 4th, and man, a couple of these guys are getting a little wiggly.
I still can't shake the feeling that 12 car is the best one in the field, the most equipped to race this 88 right now, because the 88 is extremely strong as well. But I feel like the 43 and the 11 just aren't good enough on the long run to put up too much of a fight unless something happens to the 88 right now. But they're good enough on the short run that they can force a mistake out of the 12. What Rabbit has to do, he's been involved in so many things. He just needs to make it through these first few laps of this restart. He needs to just be there here at the end, and part of that is these guys getting single file and gapping the field like they've been able to do all night.
Definitely. You know, Jose had a fantastic run on that inside. It looked like Rabbit made a little bit of a mistake, which hurt Lucky Dog, who fell back a spot, and Jose gained a spot, and he looked like he was almost trying to take over 2nd after that mistake by Rabbit as he moved up the track.
Ooh.
Now we have Dodge
Speaking
Boys
of
moving up
mistakes.
the track, and we're going to see Rabbit quickly take over the lead here as 43 is behind him in that draft, pushing him up, trying to get that momentum going.
Woo. We've seen a lot of guys tonight when they're on the inside and they go into one, they swing, they just push up the track. And it looked like that might have been what happened to Rabbit there, as Dodge with a very aggressive move, kind of pushing the 12 into turn 3 and then looking low underneath him. But Rabbit was able to hang on, and Dohar falls into 2nd with Jose in 3rd and Lucky Dog in 4th.
You know, and I'm curious if a lot of that has to do with, are these guys moving up high while they're in the lead because of all the draft and the aerodynamics behind them going on? It can make your car tight and push you up the track with all the speed that you're moving in. I feel like, though, it would be the guys behind them more that would move up the track with everything going on in front of them, but we've seen that a lot tonight, like you said. A lot of these guys moving up the track, and as soon as I say that, you see that 10 car of Expert Toaster up the track just a little bit. Didn't hit the wall at all, so it didn't hurt him at all. But I'm taking a peek here. We also have the 32 of Go Fast Matt quickly making his way up. Currently, he is in 6th.
Oh, and Rabbit got the wall out of 4. That's going to be huge. He got the wall, and it didn't look like he hit it lightly. It looked like he hit it pretty hard. It's definitely hard enough for him to lose a ton of momentum. As you see, Dohar goes into turn 1 low, slides up the track a little bit, but was able to park it a bit and hold off the 12. But that's going to change the complexion of everything if Rabbit just hurt his car.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if he has any damage. I'm trying to get back up there to see what his car is looking like. It's not letting me. See if we can take a look behind him. I don't see any damage on Rabbit's car, and he is looking pretty anxious to get that lead back from Dodge Boys. But I think this is the biggest front pack that we have seen so far tonight. We have 7 guys up here in this front pack. Rabbit getting that grass just a little bit. You can see those tire marks in the grass from these guys in the tri-oval. Pretty crazy racing. We have Rabbit, looks like he's trying to get underneath. Does he have a nose underneath Dodge Boys? Nope, he decides to tuck it back in.
I think a product of I think these guys being able to hang on to this group now is a product of them being a lot racier, as Dohar gets the apron, and that is going to wreck all of them. The only one that made it through clean looked like was Jose, but
wow.
The 88 got the apron. That wrecked the 12, and a lot of those drivers, the 43 and the 11, squirted out of it, but I don't know how much damage either one of them got, but that was a huge moment in this race.
Absolutely. That was absolutely insane. That is gonna shake things up quite a bit. Eddie for all, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Man, Jose making it through that, definitely a help for him. A lot of these guys are gonna have to go in to repair that damage. I'm curious who it's gonna be. Some of these guys like Rabbit and a few others are not gonna be too happy about that one.
And that's what we were bragging on the 12 of Rabbit, as he had kept himself. He had one of the cleanest cars in the field. Now he doesn't, and that re-racks everything. That reshuffles everything, depending on how hurt the 88 was in that accident. Because now everyone has a lot of damage, and that they've needed repairing. So that might bring the 43 and the 11 back into play. Obviously, that's funny to say since they're the leaders, but they just didn't seem to have the car to beat that 88 and that 12. Now maybe they do.
12 took a huge hurt in that one, moves back to 9th place. He has had a lot of trouble tonight trying to bring it back up there, but man, oh man, these guys are just giving each other some bump and runs, and a lot of door banging going on back here. But so far, Jose is holding out the lead. We have a new 2nd place of Expert Toaster making his way out there. Lucky Dog in 3rd, Go Fast Matt in 4th, and we have Dodge Boys back there in 5th.
We had Matt miss pit road and then have himself a little bit of a spin, and he's worked his way back into 4th. And Expert Toaster, one of those drivers who just seems to be kind of out of the picture and then randomly shows up at the end as one of the major players. And right now he is hounding Jose for that lead.
I just had a weird screen glitch. That was rather freaky. But back to the race. That really threw me off there. Expert Toaster, he is one of those drivers that he really needs the points. He needs every position he can get. So for him to be in 2nd place right now, fantastic positioning for him right now, as we're in the final stage. This is the final part of the race, guys, so this is it. We're racing for the win here. And I know 43 of Jose, he's had so many circumstances where he could have had the win, and he's involved in a caution, and I know he's trying to make something happen tonight. He's very eager to bring home that win.
Like we've had all night, this front 5 trying to hook up, trying to get out of Dodge, and right now behind them, there's a Hunger group of 4 with some really fast cars in it. You have the 12 of Rabbit, you have the 00 of Rocky Top, and throw in Pro Boss as well as that 4. And you have some really quick cars in that group who, if they could get hooked together, maybe could get up here and make some noise and make this a 9-car pack. But it's going to be tough to see. It's going to be it's going to be a tough road to hoe. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. And I'm watching these guys, and there is a lot of shakeup going in this 4-car pack. You see Pro Boss trying to follow Rabbit, and we saw Doc Holliday's get up high, which kind of shook things up just a little bit, but Rocky Top getting in the back of Pro Boss, almost losing it. He manages to save it, but man, these guys really have to bring it together in order to catch up to these guys, and they are separated. Oh, I look behind us, and we have some cars wrecked out.
Large wreck, and there's the yellow flag. We had the 3 of Blue Baka about to go a lap down with a ton of damage. And put it out.
I was waiting for it. And I was so waiting for it. The new saying here.
So that will reshuffle the field here a bit, and that brings Rabbit back into it. And you have to wonder, him and the 88 going to be near each other on the track again. I wonder if there will be some fireworks. Obviously, Rabbit would have the most to lose, given he's in a points battle. But still, I'm rather curious to see if that'll happen.
You're seeing that 3-car of Blue Baka, our driver spotlight. A ton of damage on there. He's going to need to repair the damage. And like I said earlier, that will make your car slower. But I feel like a lot of these guys have already gone through this. So a lot of these guys are back on a level playing field. I'm thinking that it pretty much even guys out. But look who is on the front here. We have Go Fast Matt in 32. Like I said before the race, this guy is super fast. He looked very strong in practice. He was leading it out, along with Expert Toaster, who, like we said earlier, this guy manages to make his way out front in the final part of the race and somehow just makes some magic happen and brings home like a top 3.
32 has had a fast car all race and hadn't really been in a lot of incidents, so maybe he is in the catbird seat here, as he's already starting to put a little bit of a gap here on the 43 of Jose.
J-Mac, a little bit of a scary...
And the 10 just got the... He got the wall. He got put further into the wall by the 19. Now he's putting the 19 in the wall.
Oh, jeez.
Now the 19's in the wall again, and the 14's on the inside wall. They're all wrecking.
Domino effect right there, but before that, Rabbit hit the apron, almost caused a huge wreck there. He saved it, and I'm really surprised we don't have a caution out. Oh, and there it comes. There it comes.
Now we do.
I'm
14
hoping...
of Wonder is hurt. The 4 is hurt. The 19's hurt. God. That was a very wild restart. And Toaster, who was in second place just a few laps ago, that was a... He took a couple of pretty decent shots to the wall there and finds himself back in, like, 9th or so.
I'm hoping we're not in the part of the race where cautions breed cautions. We've seen a couple of clusters of cautions come out, and then they have a huge green run, which is fantastic to see. We're coming up, hopefully we can get a lap count here soon, but we're coming up on the pitting here soon, and 22 to go here, so I can't imagine at this point that they would have to go in if they're going in right now, because they can hold 28 laps of fuel, so they should be good to go for the end of the race as long as they pitted during cautions.
Yeah, with points, with this coming down and points being on offer, yeah, definitely believe the intensity is going to ratchet up, and don't think these guys are going to line up and try to pull away and just play all friendly with each other this time around. There's going to be some pretty hard racing from here on out.
18 to go at the line, and we see the 43 of Jose stuck on the outside in a long, long line underneath him, trying to make moves, and he is just falling back. We have the 11 of Lucky Dog moving on the outside, trying to make up some ground and pass that 88 of Dodge Boys for second. Jose makes a power move over there, trying to get to the bottom following Dodge Boys and leaving Lucky Dog in the dust there. Looks like he might be taking over third in a second.
The 12 got loose up top, and that Toaster makes an amazing save. He went through the grass. What a save by Toaster. That all started with Rabbit up top getting really loose and stacking up that inside line, but an excellent job by the driver of the 10 to hold on to that thing.
You know, I see another driver into the wall. That looks like it's Pro Boss as he's trying to get it off the wall and save the thing. But man, it is getting pretty sketchy up here. We have the 32 and the 88 side by side. They had a little bit of a contact. Looked like they might have getting ready to lose it, but they managed to save it and put it back together. Side by side, 2 wide, a couple deep. We have quite the battle brewing, J-Mac.
Absolutely. The 88 was able to make the move into the outside. You can make it work on the outside in 1 and 2, but 3 and 4, that inside line is going to be pretty dominant if they can make it through that middle of 3 without screwing up. And speaking of screwing up, we have a yellow.
Another yellow is out, guys. I don't even know the count on this. Probably the 5th or 6th one, I would say. A very, very clean race. I mean, we're at the Coca Cola 300 tonight, under the lights. Beautiful racing here. These guys just working together very, very well. Considering how many laps these guys are doing, 200. They're doing a great job out here. Such a fantastic race. I've really enjoyed it here.
Heck, I'm starting to get tired, and all I've done is talk out my butt the whole time. So, you know, these guys are trying to race each other. These guys are racing each other hard. They've got to be mentally tired. Probably not physically tired, you know, sitting in their air-conditioned rooms with their controllers or wheels in hand, but definitely the mental fatigue has to be setting in at this point. And we're coming in with coming down to the finish here.
Yeah, you know, they just need to gather it back up and get on the road and try to make the best of the final race. It wears on you. Definitely endurance races out here with how long this one is, and a lot of guys may be running out of patience. They're tired. It is, you know, getting late here. We have Sober David saying that he believes that is caution number 6, which I say that's still pretty darn good. You got 200 laps here with 6 cautions. I just need to knock on some wood that hopefully that's the last one we will see. But these guys looking very, very shaky out there, J-Mac.
Yeah, things are getting a little back and forth out there. Jose trying to stay with the 32. It looks like he's looking on the inside. Matt throws a little bit of a block, and Toaster in the wall again, as well as the 3 of Lubaka. Doesn't look like that's going to bring out a yellow, but
10 to go
guys
right there.
Days going from bad to worse there.
Oh, they are getting completely stacked up here. Making me a little nervous. We have a 2-way battle for 3rd place between Rocky Top and Dodge Boys. Rocky Top has a little bit of a lead right there going in, but Dodge Boys answers right back as he's got some draft help on that inside. It's going to be a stronger line. So these guys make their way, and Rocky Top is falling back on that outside. But man, you can just see how shaky these guys are getting. They are tired. They have been battling for a long time now. We have just a handful of laps to go, but if Go Fast Matt can hold it out, he will be your winner here, but he's going to have a lot of defending to do if that's the case.
He started to run a very defensive line off the corners, about a lane or 2 off of the wall every time he's exiting. That hasn't been the most appreciated line from our leaders the last couple of weeks. So, and the 4 is in the wall. And the 88 and the 43 are side by side. Now they're not.
They are just so stacked up right now. We have the top, it looks like almost 8 drivers up there, pretty close. We have the 32 on the inside, 43 getting pushed by Dodge Boys of the 88 behind him, trying to push him out front, but that inside line is completely just a train running down there. So I don't know that they're going to be able to make it happen. Looks like they're trying to gather more people on that high side to get some momentum going. 43 of the 32 side by side. These guys just having a heck of a battle. Look at this race, guys. What an incredible race as we hit 6 to go.
It wasn't that long ago that the 9 had been put into the wall by the 00. He's back up to 5th right now, trying to work his way up.
Look at Pro Boss making his way to 4th. We have Dodge Boys in 5th. Go Fast Matt trying to make his way on both sides of the line, trying to fight. These guys are just bumping and banging. What an incredible fight here for the win tonight. Just a few laps left, guys, and these guys are just too wide all the way through. Oh my goodness, I am on the edge of my seat, J-Mac. Oh, 88 into the wall. We have a huge pileup. I believe that these guys saved it after all of that. He's a lot of lag going on, I'm seeing.
Between these two. Oh, the 32 gets the apron.
Absolutely incredible. We have a 3-way battle for 2nd place as Jose is your current leader. We have a Pro Boss behind him. Looks like Lucky Dog and Rabbit all single file line right behind Jose, trying to make their way up here, and it is going to be a 4-way battle for the win here tonight at the Coca Cola 300. 3 to go,
It's a shame
J-Mac.
that we're experiencing the lag that whenever you're in that spectator lobby for this long, it starts to get laggy on our end. I don't think these drivers are seeing this, but we are, and it's too late now to back out because this finish is coming down to the wire. Lucky Dog trying to run down that 43 of Jose.
We are coming up on 2 to go, and Lucky Dog is directly behind Jose. Jose wants this win. He needs this win. Lucky Dog already has a win. He doesn't need it, but I know he wants it. 2 to go, guys, and Pro Boss is another one. He wants this win. He needs it. These guys, it's going to be a huge battle.
I'm just going to go ahead and say that Lucky Dog probably feels like he needs it too. So,
I don't know if he needs it, but you know he wants it. He is far too competitive to be like, you know, Jose, I'm just going to go ahead and give you this win. It's all good. No, this guy is way too competitive.
This is the final lap.
Caution is out at the white flag. Wow. Looks like the 88 and a lap car had a little incident together. Man, the 88 has had a tough night. I can tell you, Jose does not want to see this. Those top guys do not, but Jose is going to have a lot of defending to do. Man, wins do not come easy. He's going to have a heck of a final lap to get through here.
He's probably going to have a heck of a push from Pro Boss here at the start. And then from there, once they get to the backstretch, it's going to be the gloves off. Definitely going to think that Pro Boss is going to want to win this race. But here we go.
Here we go. We're going to go back to green for the final part of this lap here. This final race of the night. Hopefully, we have the 11 on the outside. We have 43 of Jose as your current leader. Pro Boss directly behind him. Rabbit on the outside in that 12. Contact. Man, a car just gets obliterated into the wall. Wow. Another
the 42
car.
of MDL down there.
Yeah. Absolutely incredible. We have the 9 car in second place. These guys are just battling it out.
And here comes Pro Boss. Someone will appreciate that one.
Final lap. Pro Boss coming out here. Can they make something happen? We have Rabbit into the mix. These top 6 guys, I mean, a lot of guys battling out here. If Jose can hold on to it, he's going to be your winner here, but man, he's going to have a fight. Look at Rabbit tucking his nose underneath. Puts
there.
Pro Boss into the wall.
Pro Boss in the wall, and that's going to cost him 2 spots.
Jose is your winner here at the Coca Cola 300. Wow, what an incredible race. I don't know that Pro Boss is going to be too happy about that one.
I doubt he will be, and he shouldn't be. Yeah, there was there was a car width size hole there, and Rabbit decided to take it and then push up and take more of it, and just an unfortunate break for Pro Boss, who had done a great job to get into position there at the end. But what a job of Jose to hold off the field there. Rabbit in second, Lucky Dog and Dohar, they both were able to bounce back from some issues to finish in the top 5, and then Pro Boss edged Matt there at the line.
All right, so your top 3 are Jose, Rabbit, and Lucky Dog, who is known as Bolt in the Pro League. So we are going to get these guys in here after a 200 lap race. What an incredible race. Let's get these guys in. Jose finally bringing home that win that he has been chasing after. We got the Bolt. Let's bring him in here, and Rabbit.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling right now, Jose?
Oh my God. Shaking.
I bet. Man, you had a heck of a car and a heck of a battle to go through here tonight. After a couple of cautions you were involved in, did you think you were going to be able to pull it back and bring it home as a winner?
I stayed positive. I only had like 2 seconds of damage that when I got put in the wall, so it wasn't that bad. But I was debating on whether to fix it or just leave it. But that end of the 3rd stage, I just said, you know what, let's just fix it, see what it does. And thankfully, it didn't mess with the car too much. It was a little looser than I wanted it, but after the damage, but it was manageable.
How was your car on the long run? It seemed like you might have had a little bit of a handling issue, or was it okay in the long run?
It seemed pretty good before the damage. After the damage, it got super tight on me.
Yeah.
But I kind of expected that with all the damage model in this game.
Yeah.
But thankfully, it didn't. Like I said, it didn't mess with the car too much.
I mean, you did an amazing job out there. And those final few laps, what was your mindset after that final caution came out? What was the first thing you were thinking?
With me, those last cautions always mess with me. They always screw me out of a good finish, no matter where I start. But thankfully this time I was up front, and thankfully there was no other caution after that, because the car was getting tight on me.
Yeah.
But it was a battle at the end.
You had a heck of a battle to the end, and I know we were talking earlier and you were looking forward to getting out there and hoping that you can keep your nose clean and just stay out of the wrecks. And tonight was your night. I mean, you had a strong car out there, and you looked really good out there with the car, and you brought home a winner tonight again. So a huge congratulations, the Coca Cola 300. What a way to, celebrate tonight. The longest race here, and you did a great job. So congratulations to you, Jose.
Thank you. I'll give a quick shout out to Dodge when I was trying to pass the, 10 laps ago. He was pushing me on that high side, and thankfully that, actually, I think the car under me hit the apron and barely missed me. But, yeah, Dodge kind of pushed me up there.
Yeah, he did. It was good teamwork
Thanks to
there,
him.
absolutely. All right, J-Mac, let's bring in our second place of Rabbit.
Well, Rabbit, you had a up and down day, emotional highs, emotional lows. Talk us through it there. The beginning, were you being conservative there to stay in line, and then once you got kind of put back in the pack and got that damage, tell us what was going through your head.
Oh yeah, well, I had a clean car all the way through until Dohar, hit the apron, and that was the end of my perfect car. And now then we're all pretty much even.
Talk us about that final run there to the finish. You and the 9 made a little bit of contact. We being pretty aggressive there,
Oh, I
And
was being aggressive. I mean, I couldn't care less if I was on the podium. I had to win because I've gotten taken out these last two races by people who just don't want to, let up. I mean, how much did we let up? How much do we have to let up? And then let these guys just drive right by. And then, but if we don't let up, oh my God, we're a villain. We're a villain. We're just a villain. It's amazing. I wish people would actually admit their faults. And I will say right now, Boss drove up. There was enough for me to get in there, but I knew it wasn't going to stick. But I was going for the win because I got taken out in the last two races. I was just trying to do what I was trying to do. But, there's other drivers in there that just, they need, it's just so aggravating. So aggravating. I know who I'm faster than, and I know who I'm slower than. And I'm going to give respect to the person that's faster than me. I'm going to let him go. I'm not going to sit there and ride a guy. I mean, I know it's racing, but it's like, go. So we're going to sit here and ride side by side and lose the draft. Awesome. It's very frustrating night. It's frustrating always.
Well, even with all the issues, you're able to bounce back to a really good second place finish, and you definitely made noise all night with the speed in your car. So, congratulations to at least pulling that out.
All right, we have the Bolt who took home a third place finish. A huge congratulations to you. He is lucky dog in this league, bringing out that Bolt. How's your car feeling tonight?
First of all, I want to say thanks to everyone at Joe Gibbs Racing, Gibbs Gaming, and Interstate Batteries for all the support the past few weeks for everything. It's been amazing. In terms of the car was pretty good. We had a pretty quick car. It wasn't the fastest car, but we were pretty quick. Doc locked up the brakes going into the pits there in stage 2, and I hit the back of him there. It was so I had some damage, got that repaired, and then got 96% damage somehow in some way. So I was pretty slow the rest of the race, but I handled pretty well in the corners. So that was the trade-off that I had there. So I was slow, but had a good handling car towards the end because of that rear damage. But I mean, other than that, it was pretty good. Apologies to Dodge. Matt was very loose on the inside there before that final caution or whatnot, and he hit the grass, and I was just trying to stay behind him. I let off a bit, and then I got loose and tight, and I hit the 88. I apologize to him, but he wasn't very happy with me and tried wrecking me the final lap. But then we had a ridiculous final lap caution there. But it is what it is, and it was ridiculous, but it is what it is. Happy for third place. Congrats to Jose on the win, and Rabbit on second.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys all drove a great race. There was some aggressive moves out there, some bumping and banging going on. It's a long race. It takes a lot out of you mentally and everything else, trying to work together. I do have one last question. Were you guys communicating and working together to get away from the guys behind you? I know that you were involved in a couple of those front packs that were just working together beautifully. Was that something that was communicated, or did you guys just naturally do that?
No, we
It was a bit of.
stayed in
It was.
line.
I figured, yeah.
It was a bit of both. It was a bit of both. Once in a while we say, "Oh, let's just try and catch up or get away," but for the most part, kind of natural. We just had a. I lost my train of thought.
Like what,
we were trying to
5-car breakaway?
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to do a 5. Thank you. We're trying to do a 5-car breakaway, and trying to get away from this guy as best as possible. Sorry, I just bolt.exe stopped working there. Yeah, we just tried to break away, and for the most part, it was pretty good. Had clean racing. And towards the end, I was trying to be clean, and I just kind of lost it. I was all over the place. We were all over the place, and yeah, not the way I wanted to get third, hitting Dohar. So that's unfortunate for his race, but unfortunately that's how racing goes. And on to Pocono for the next round, so hopefully we can get a good result there.
On to Pocono. The top 8 will move on for the next race. We are coming up on the final races here. Like we said, we have Pocono, Kentucky, Chicago, and then the top 4 will move on to Homestead to battle it out for the championship. We'll see who brings home the championship, but for now, top 8 move on for next week. We'll see them there. It'll be around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But man, what a race. These guys did a fantastic job. Thank you all for joining here tonight, for the follows, for cheering these drivers on. I know they appreciate it. A long night for these guys, but they did a great job. And that's all we have here tonight. J-Mac, always a pleasure and a lot of fun with you.
Absolutely, Frozen. That was a really entertaining race.
Absolutely. Rock, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the replays. I heard some feedback, so I'll go ahead and make sure that gets fixed for the next race here. Until then, you guys take it easy. Great race. Congratulations to Jose on that win. I know he worked his butt off out there along with everyone else. But man, what a great win to win the Coca Cola 300. So congratulations to you on that.
It
Thank
was
you.
also noted that you need to get that little chime that says "Put her out."
Put it out.
I,
Put her out. Put her out.
you know, I do. I think I need
I'm down
to,
for that.
Yeah, I think I need to get a little sound effect going here that y'all can just put in and put her out for it. I'll get on top of that too. But until then, you guys have a great night. Thank you for everything, aka Racing League. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We are over and out. Take it easy, guys.